Yeah, man, we're rolling.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool,
welcome
nice.
to Talk Smack with Mac. Jeff, I really appreciate your time, man. Just checking you out on Instagram and seeing all the things that you do. I was like, this is a badass motherfucker, man. I really want this guy on my podcast.
Nice. Thanks, bro.
I know you do a lot of strength and conditioning work. You're doing strength and conditioning for Gorman, right?
Yeah, the Gorman team. Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit. How did you get started with, in the strength and conditioning scene?
Well, I played high school basketball actually in Las Vegas at Cheyenne High School. And then,
Cheyenne, right around the corner. We were just talking about it. Wood, Northtown kids.
Yeah, exactly. And then I moved to New York. I went to college out there in New York City. Played college ball, played a year of semi-pro basketball, and then was always into basketball first. I hated lifting, and then once I was in college, I had two best friends that loved to lift, and they just kind of forced it on me.
Yeah.
And I just started falling in love with it, and ended up I majored in finance. I ended up trying to get a job in finance, and it was like tough during that market crash. This is like 2010, and then I got a job at Equinox, which is like the top tier gym in New York City and like mostly the East Coast, I would say.
How'd you get a job there? They seen you lifting or seen you
no,
were
I
part
just
of the
went in
basketball
there.
team?
Yeah, I just went in there, and they had like just open interviews, and I didn't have any like real experience besides like training myself, playing basketball. But they saw a little potential in me, and they said they would.
For sure. If you're playing college basketball, you're gonna have the fundamentals of running some type of conditioning program.
Exactly. Yeah. So then they just they gave me a chance, and they were like, "Hey, you have like 3 months to pick up clientele and everything like that, and then once that 3 months is up, we need you to get a certification." So like I was looking into what certifications I can get into. But what's good about Equinox is that they make you go to like classes during the week, and they pay you for it. So they were teaching us all about anatomy and physiology and things like that. So it was cool to like learn that, and I ended up getting my certification with a national. With the CSCS, Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist, and that's like top of the line. So most people that go to school for exercise science, that's their final, is taking that test. So I ended up just like.
So you kind of like just cut took a shortcut.
A little shortcut. I mean, it was tough, man. I was
studying
a lot of days,
a
lot of hours at Starbucks studying, like hours and hours and hours, failing it, and then passing the second time. But it was worth it because I always wanted to train like professional athletes, and that was kind of like my goal.
Dude, first of all, that's fucking badass. That's almost like a dream of mine. And it's funny, you went to school for finance. I went to business school at UNLV. I got my accounting degree. Nice. And I'm like, dude, I just like to work out and train with people. I love accounting. I really do. I love numbers. I love making shit balance, making the books balance and, shit like that. But I just like to train, man. So it's like you're living, in my eyes, you're living a badass life. Okay, so you took that like major shift from going to school for finance, couldn't really get a job, and then you got the job and started getting the certificates at that point where you're like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, or if this fails, I still have the finance I could fall back on.
Yeah, so it was kind of crazy at the time because I was working on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, so it's a lot of like articulate people, a lot of like people that are on Wall Street, and I was like, hey, I'll just get this job on the Upper East Side. I'll probably like meet some people, and maybe like I'll be able to get a little connect to get a finance job because that's what went to school for that. I was like, damn, I can make a lot of money, and my school was really good, one of the nationally ranked schools in New York for that. So I was like, let me just see if I can do this. But I ended up falling in love with training, and I like was full time within like a month and a half, just because like I was pretty ambitious, and I feel like looking back, I probably didn't know shit, or I mean, I knew a little bit, but not as much at all as what I knew now. But I was just a good motivator at that time.
How old were you at the time?
I was like 22 at that time. Yeah.
22. I didn't really know shit at 22.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, of course. Thought you know a lot.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, definitely.
I was just telling my cousin, I was like, man, like I'm 28 now. And I'm like, you get a major shift at like 27, 28. Things start to make a lot more sense. Things start to clear up a little bit. But yeah, 22, really good motivator, constantly educating yourself. And do you like working with newer people that are like, hey, I'm trying to get into fitness? Or would you rather work with people that are like, hey, I'm the shit already, but I need you to go in and do these fine tweaks and take me to the next level?
I think it depends on the person. Like I love getting to know people too, just like the ins and outs, what motivates them. So like I've had people lose like 150 pounds. I've trained with me. I've trained like professional athletes that play for the Knicks, things like that. train some fighters. Yeah, so it's great. So I've had a plethora of different people. And I think I just like to get to know people and then seeing how I can help people. Like my father had some mental health stuff going on. He tried to commit suicide when I was 15. So just like getting to see what makes people kind of tick a little bit and to get them to motivate. I mean, if you could help somebody's lives, I think that's like number one for me. I always want to just like change somebody's lives for the better. And I try to live that with positivity and just like always trying to learn new stuff that could help somebody else. And maybe like I could see one of my friends or one of my clients thinking this way, and how do I get them to veer off to like a more positive direction. So like any type of client is great. To be honest with you, there's no set person. I like to work with people that work hard, and like that's kind of where it ends. If you work hard, you can work well with me. Yeah, stay consistent. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Because there's nothing more annoying than investing your time into a person and really like you sit down, you write down. I don't know if you do like meal plans or fitness plans for geared towards specific people, but say you go through all that and these guys show up for a week or two and then they stop coming.
Yeah, it's no. Yeah, I remember when I first started, it's like you want everybody to be like perfect, and you think they're gonna be the perfect client, but in reality, a lot of people are not as disciplined as you would like them to be, and
that's why they hired you.
Yeah, that's why they hire you. But also, like, I don't want to invest, so I'll give them like I won't give them like a trial period, but I'll go as far as they want to go. You know, if they show me they're really like adhering to things that I think will help them, and I'm not always right all the time, and everybody's a little different, so like I have to kind of work with what I'm given, and I've learned along the way is to give people like just enough, you know? Because if you give them too much, like I can't tell somebody that's just starting. Like I had a new client today I just got, fortunately, and I was telling about my routine. Like I'll do the ice bath like right in the morning outside.
See that. That's so
and like
badass, bro.
He was like, "There's no way I could do that," and I'm like, "Yeah, obviously this."
Yeah, you build up to.
Yeah, you build up. Yeah. First thing is like being consistent in the gym and like just getting your eating down a little bit, and not like perfect, but like just better, just a little better, one step better a week. I always try to think about like little incremental changes, and then it's like once you're consistent in that and that's like a habit, then you can move on to the next thing. So like you got to kind of work with people and just get them to gradually change and gradually get better. Because I mean, I couldn't do the stuff I'm doing now. If I look back, like all in one day it changed, like it would never happen. I'll be like, you're crazy.
It's overwhelming, and I feel like if you completely try to take a drastic shift, you're more prone to revolving back to your old ways, your old habits, and saying, you know, fuck this, man. I've been eating perfectly for 3 weeks and I don't look like a Greek god, so I'm eating that bag of chips again. Fuck this. So when you make those small changes, like you're saying, instead of putting an entire bag of chips down, maybe only eat a portion of what you were eating before.
Yeah, or one day a week. Yeah, something like that. You're 100% right.
Yeah,
I remember one of my old coworkers, he was like my GM at the time when I was first training, and we had talked on the phone maybe a few years later, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm doing fasting. I fasted for 3 days," and I'm just in my head, I wasn't into like gaining weight and trying to compete in CrossFit, and I was like, man, in my head, like, how can you do that? Like, that's crazy. I eat every 2-3 hours, and like, but now I like look back and I'm like, damn. I learned a lot, like why you're doing that, and now I do that. I can fast for 3 days in a row. Yeah, 7-day fast I've done. So it's like
you've done 7 days.
Yeah. So you know, you learn a lot, and you try to challenge yourself, and always trying to improve and notice how things feel and why people are doing them.
So tell me the benefits of a 7-day fast. I know I just watched, I don't know if you've seen the show Limitless with Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, I have not seen it.
That's a badass show,
it's
dude.
A good show.
Badass show. He did like a 250-meter swim in the Arctic with just board shorts on.
It's like a live show, like a reel, or it's like a show.
It's like a documentary of Chris Hemsworth doing things to prolong his life and his health. In addition to the swim, he also did a 4-day fast. And they talk about the health benefits of the 4-day fast, how it kind of resets your system. So, and it talked about like zombie cells, how zombie cells are dead in your body. And then after the 4 days, you kind of eliminate the zombie cells, so they stop infecting the good cells around it. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you know,
that sounds right. There's a thing called autophagy. It's the recycling of damaged and viral cells. So we have cells from like eating bad and just maybe like breathing in bad air or smoking or whatever it is that aren't as strong as our like normal cells. And so those cells, when you're not eating, they get cleaned up, which is called autophagy. So they get recycled because they're not as strong as our like natural cells. So when you start to fast for a little longer, that's what people with cancer, sometimes they'll fast because they're like eating away those kind of bad cells is what you want to think about. So like the longer you fast, the more your body you give it less of a job. So like every time we eat, it's like a job to break down food. Every time we breathe air, it's another job. Like every time we're breathing, we're kind of basically dying. We're like taking in energy, and our body's using that energy to like keep us alive. Obviously, we need some to like keep us sustained, but when you're fasting, giving your body like less tasks to do, so it can focus on like healing.
Hyper focus on little things.
Yeah, so like little things like they say when you start to fast a lot, you get very like cognitively aware. You can see things very clearly. You can stop addiction. You can clean like a cancer cell, or lose body fat very easily. Tumors can shrink. So basically, you're giving your body like a chance to rest and on the stuff that it's usually doing, like eating and whatever, and you can give it more attention to like whatever you're trying to get to. So like a cleanse, like say you have some stomach issues, intestinal issues because you're eating and maybe there's like something stuck in there that's viral. You're basically like not feeding those bad bacteria or like damaged bacteria in your stomach, so you can kind of clean everything up and reset. So I'll do that a ton, and they say it's so great for anti-aging. Because you're basically like things will happen, like your natural HGH will spike up
because of the fast.
Because of the fasting.
Why is that?
I think it's just cleaning out your body so much, and
it's flowing like how it's supposed to.
Yeah, everything's flowing like it's supposed to. Yeah.
So do you think that like the HCH in your body, and as you get older, most people aren't exercising as much as they were when they're younger, and because of that, it kind of, I guess, for a lack of a better term, floods the system of just bullshit. So when you fast, it kind of allows the growth hormone in your body to actually flow like it's supposed to.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a thing like stress, right? Like working out is like stressful, right? Like you're hitting weight, it's hard, and you're stressing your body out. Like fasting is also a stress on our body. If we survive, which we can, it's just like it's uncomfortable. So we start to get like different hormones in our body. Like, damn, we're surviving. All of our strong cells need to stay, and we get very efficient in our body too. So like that's kind of like the concept of why people fast. For that reason, it can spark up that stuff right there.
Man, all right. So I'm assuming the benefits of a 7-day fast versus a 4-day fast is just more benefits, more of the same.
Yeah, more of the same benefits. Yeah, at a certain point, there's more of the same benefits. There's people that do it a lot longer. But yeah, it depends on your body
just
too.
Water, right? The 7 days.
You can do water. I did black coffee and water. Tea, you just don't want to have any calories. Basically, every time your blood sugar rises, so if you eat some food, even too much coffee could be bad for your blood sugar. But it's funny, once you're like into the fast, like 2 days, 3 days, like your body really doesn't need a lot. Like I can't even drink that much coffee. It's like my body's like, nah, I don't want
just a little water, because that's the only thing in your system.
Yeah,
so it's really
water,
absorbing.
and you want to take in salt and lime. I would say salt really good, because salt is like basically is a contractile, so it makes your blood flow. It makes your muscles contract every time. Like you need ions, like when they talk about Gatorade and all the ions, like potassium and all that stuff like that. That's what it's doing. Salt is helping you contract like your organs, like your blood flowing in your body, like you're talking, like things like that. So it's like kind of giving your body something to work with.
Okay.
Because when you're sometimes when you're like drinking too much water, you're not like that stuff isn't sticking. Like you're flushing out all of your like your sodium and everything. Yeah. So for me, like as an athlete, like I look at my like P levels all the time, and that's how I kind of tell if I'm dehydrated. And I do sweat a lot, so like most of the time I'm more dehydrated than more hydrated than dehydrated. So I have to put salt in my water a ton. So like every day I'll start my day every day with water, salt, lemon. That's like the first thing I start with.
What type of salt?
I use Celtic salt. They say it has the most like minerals, CELTIC.
How do you feel about table salt?
I just heard it doesn't really have that many minerals, and it may not have a lot. It might be bleach, they say. So like, I mean, some people may need it if that's all they have, but I would say try to like if you learn something, try to like stick like why it's better. So why would you like resort to something that's worse, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. I forget what type of salts we were using when I was in dive school. It was like a mandatory. We had to put a salt pack in our camelbacks every day.
Himalayan salt, maybe.
Probably. I don't remember, man. They used to come. We were just like, yo, yes sir, no sir. Take the pack, drink the pack.
Yeah, exactly.
But okay, so you got the job. You're doing some personal training. How'd you go from there to eventually getting the job with Gorman?
Okay, so I was working in New York City. I was working at this really good gym, Equinox, and had a bunch of like private clients. I was training also at my college. I was doing strength conditioning for the women's basketball team at that time. So I was doing a couple of different things.
That was just a networking thing?
Yeah, networking thing. Yeah, they saw like how hard I was working. They saw like my results, especially as I got a little more like older or fine-tuned. Like I started just learning more and more. And a good thing about me is I try to learn like I don't think I'm that athletic, but I think I worked to getting a lot more athletic. Like I feel like I was way slower when I was younger, when I was in high school. So if I would have done all this stuff now, or when I was in high school, I feel like I would have been a much better athlete faster. But like, can't go back in time. You just have to live and learn.
You gotta learn on that shit. I feel way better at 28 than I ever had in my entire life because you start understanding things, bro. You start understanding working the little muscles. Or I found out recently that I do Spartan races, and during my last Spartan race, I had so much knee pain and groin pain.
Okay,
it was just like overwhelming.
Yeah,
and I've been thinking like, why? Why is that? And I found out I think it's because I have weak hip adductors and abductors.
Okay, gotcha.
So I've been focusing on those because I'm doing Big Bear, man. I signed up for Big Bear, which is going to be a bitch. So I'm like,
that's the location of the Spartan race? Okay, nice. All right. How long is that one?
I've done 14 miles.
Okay, I've done like the 7 or the 9, something like that one time.
They got one in Vegas, man. They got one in Vegas in March that I signed up for too.
Very nice. Awesome.
So yeah, not too much traveling, but I just did one in Lebec that was 14 miles, and it was just fucking hills.
Yeah, that's what I do. Is all hills. Yeah, so thinking about like you're going up and down, like that's a lot of shear on your knees. You're never like extending them out. Imbalance, yeah. So like you gotta think about the opposite muscles, the muscles around your knees that you want to strengthen. I mean, that stuff just holds everything together. So you're not just like forcing one joint to just work in that same range of motion. It's like what you're saying. It could be right. Could be adding other stuff in that'll help more too, you know. But yeah, you're spot on with what you're saying.
Hey man, I'm not the dumbest motherfucker. All right, yeah. Do you have any other things that you would recommend for? Because specifically, I get groin pain.
Yeah.
And knee pain.
Okay, I mean, I would say like if you see me train a lot of my athletes, a lot of like running sports, like basketball or like
sled pull.
Yeah, backwards sled pull. Because you're like extending your leg the opposite way you'd run, right? Like I'm going back, and that's gonna open up that's gonna get blood flow in your knees, healthy blood flow, your quads. But also think about like doing stuff for your posterior chain, like the back of your body, so your hamstrings, like your glutes, so deadlifts, RDLs, like straight leg deadlifts, just to like, or like even like little shit at the gym, like could be like leg curls, but using the opposite muscles, the opposite side of your knee, because that stuff also is those are also bigger muscles, like your hamstrings and your glutes. It's gonna help keep your knees kind of like together. Like everything is like one unit. That there's a lot of different attachments, so you want to train like everything around it. Yeah. And to figure that out, I mean, you can also be doing like recovery stuff, like icing, heating. You know, the more blood flow you're putting in your body, the more it's gonna like send a signal. Hey, we need more blood in this area to heal. So, yeah, I would say those are good like tips to add in.
Yeah, I feel like something that I'm slacking on, man, or just the sled in general, pushing and pulling. Ideally, I would like to get one. You posted something I seen. I think today you have like a small sled-sized turf that you run down your driveway in the garage. I'm like, yeah, man, I fucking need that. That's
you got a nice big garage here too.
Yeah, man, 100%. All the way pulling it up the hill too. Oh fuck yeah,
it's so easy, man. Stuff. Like honestly, and it's such a like a valuable tool to have, and it's not that expensive if you're gonna use it. But yeah, that's probably one of the best things you can do for your knees. Yeah. I follow that guy, knees over toes.
I was just gonna say knees over toes, so man. I implement a lot of the things that he does just to try to shear up the weaknesses that I have. Definitely. So it helps out a lot. All right, so you're working with the girls basketball team, so Equinox, doing some personal training.
Exactly. So then, whatever. I had developed a good amount of private clientele, and I just made the change to go private. There's a bunch of private gyms around like my area, and like. That's what people did. So then I took a lot of my clients privately. Fortunately, they came with me, which is great. And I started my own LLC at that time in New York City. And then I tried to do different stuff like nutrition and recovery stuff, meditation workshops, and just like always diving into new things, always like continue my education and learning. And then we had our own gym actually in New York City as well. And it just didn't work out. Owning my gym wasn't just for me at that time, wasn't the right time. And then just still was training private, doing well. And then the pandemic happened. And in New York City, if you're not vaccinated, you can't work in a gym. You can't even go to a gym to work out, actually. So it was like, damn, So we end up had a bunch of equipment because we did own a gym, and we started training outside, and nobody was really doing anything at that point. And then me and my wife started killing it, training outside. We were bringing the sled outside in like a park, and the weather started getting nice, so we did really well during that time of like maybe March to October, and then it started getting very cold in New York, and then we're like, what are we gonna do? There might be another shutdown, so we ended up moving to Vegas.
So you barely moved back to Vegas about a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
ish.
Like 2 years ago. Yeah, exactly, like 2 years ago. Yep.
Man.
Yeah.
How do you like it? How does it feel? You grew up in Vegas. You said you went to high school.
Yeah.
Okay, so grew up in Vegas, and then you go to New York. That was like one hell of a culture shift. I can imagine.
Cool,
I've
man.
never been there, but it's just different. You know, people walk different, talk different.
Yes.
You know, aggressive people. The way you need to approach people, I'm sure, has changed a lot. And then going from New York, you get accustomed to the living out there, and then you come back to Vegas.
Yes.
Damn, that's a big jump, man.
No, it was cool though, because I mean, you're 18, you're on the hustle, you're on the grind at that time. You know, when you're 18, you got so much energy, you just want to like do everything. So I was just like busybody all the time, like here, there, taking the train this place, taking the train that place, and you get kind of used to it. And then like as you get a little older, you start shifting to like, all right, I've done this for a long time. What's the next step? You know, what I want to do next, and just it kind of flowed. So my wife had visited a few times here, and she never left New York in her life before.
Oh,
and
nice.
I had to convince her first. That was number one. So she was down.
How'd she take it?
She was down. She loved it actually when we got here, and she loves it now. It's so much space, and it's just way more free, and a lot of stuff to do. And,
I was just gonna say, there's a lot of things to
Yeah.
do in Vegas. A lot of people forget like how much natural beauty we have here, and if it's not here, it's very close. Like within like a
so
2-hour
much.
drive, there's so much to do if you're an outdoors person, or if you just love the nightlife. You know, obviously
Sure,
there's
that
Vegas,
too.
but Vegas is so much beyond that.
Yeah,
Man.
we love hiking, so we did like a bunch of like road trips cross country, and we like hiked so many places, so many
all, like,
beautiful
the best
things.
trails and
Yeah,
stuff.
the best
That's
trails,
badass.
so nice.
That's badass.
And so she loved like the nature, and it's crazy. Red Rock's right here. But when I was young, I never like
Appreciated
it.
it.
Yeah, I was like hiking. Hell no, I'm not doing that. I'd rather do another workout, different workout, play basketball or something. But now I like love it, and nature is it's beautiful to do some new stuff, and yeah, she's been loving it. And I had a couple connects out here. I got some people I was training like earlier that maybe followed me through like social media, or my old coaches. I was training their son. So yeah, it worked out, and I had a bunch of clients virtually, because at that time there's a lot of virtual training going on because people didn't want to go to gyms. So we kind of started like that, and then I started just networking, meeting new people, and I was training a girl that played for Gorman's team, and their coach came to watch me train her in my garage, and he was like, hey, we'd love to have you at the school, and that's kind of how that got started. So this has been my first season training them, and hopefully there's some more teams.
So I guess how does that work? You're the strength and conditioning coach for Gorman's basketball team. Do you just show up at a certain time and train?
Yeah, we've had certain times before the season has started, like the summer to now, but now they're deep in the season, so it's like
less training.
Yeah, less training. The kids have school, they have
practice,
finals, they have like college, like ACTs, SATs. They got a lot of stuff going on, so it's a little less now. But yeah, it was like pretty consistent.
So it was more like a preparation thing for the season?
It was more of a preparation thing. Yeah, I mean, getting them stronger. Yeah, it was just like a few days a week, and yeah,
that's pretty badass, man. Like as we know, Vegas kid, all the super athletes go to Gorman.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you are meeting a lot of kids that are like, holy fuck, this dude is an athletic freak.
Yeah. See all their gym is amazing. Like you see their that was like kind of our rivals too. I remember we lost them in our playoffs.
Everybody lost to fucking Gorman, dude.
So yeah, just like
if you can't beat them, join them, right?
Exactly. Yeah, a couple of my team was like, you're a traitor. Exactly. Yeah, it's funny. But no, they're a great program, and yeah, man, it's amazing. I mean, this is my first time with the team, and I'm just getting used to like the names and stuff like that, because I've just been in New York for 16 years before this, so it's like getting back to the Vegas scene of basketball and athletics in general, you know. But yeah, they have an amazing program and coaches, and it's been great, man. It's been really good.
Your program, I'm sure you have a bunch of different programs based on goal performance or goal orientated people based on like their sport or whatever they're trying to achieve in life. What are some of like the main things that you focus on your workouts?
With what? With clients or with the team, or
let's go with individual clients.
Individual
first.
clients.
Yeah.
I would say like mindset is number one thing, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like how, like what are they thinking in their head? Like what's their goals? And like a lot of people have goals and aspirations, but are they going to be
Achievable.
consistent and achievable? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Like, so how can I best get you there? You know, that's my thing. How motivated are you? What are you really going to do? Cause you know, like I just put a post, like motivation can come and go, you know, we can be happy one day, we can be sad the next day, we can be motivated one day. And nah, but like you have to be disciplined. It's like what are the things you can discipline yourself in? So I mean, you got to make it fun too. Like I don't like to train and be boring and a terrible coach or trainer or whatever. And it's like he don't want you to be there, you know, or whatever. You know, they're not giving you the good energy that you would want to be there. Like I've been to some classes or things and like it's just been garbage energy, and I'm just like I'm not here for it. So like I try to predicate good energy and you know, whatever to get them motivated as possible. So that's probably number one, mindset. And then it's I'm always asking them a question like, what is your routine like now? What's been your best routine? When did you get the best results? You know, if they have those answers, I can kind of pinpoint a little better, like what's your nutrition like? I'll usually have people write like a 3-day nutrition log, like, all right, write me for the next 3 days starting today, what time you ate, what you ate, because like meal timing is really important, and what you're eating. And I'm just like, be honest, because like I'm just here to help you. Like there's no like right or wrong way. It's just like, how can we get you to be a little better,
Most
a little
efficient.
better? Yeah. And then in the gym too, same thing. Like I had a guy today, he's like, oh, I barely ever work out. I was like, all right, well, there's a free jiu-jitsu class Tuesday, Thursday, 8 a.m.
8 a.m.,
You want to try
yep.
something new? You know, come through. Maybe it's a cool workout. Maybe you'll like it. And it's good to like meet new people. And maybe you'll be a little more motivated and driven and hold yourself accountable. So like I'm always just prying questions. And I mean, my workouts, I try to make them as hard as somebody will let me. Like I'm not trying to make you throw up and be miserable the whole time. But like little by little, we're trying to progress to be better. So like when I do train like better athletes, they're usually in good shape. And they can handle a lot more. You know, when I'm training something that's just starting, it's like I got to get their confidence up little by little.
Yeah.
So they're going to come the next time, or they're going to go tomorrow to the gym by themselves, you know, have those good feelings. Because like if they're throwing up, it's like, damn, I can't do this.
Yeah,
like,
I don't. Or if they're too sore, if they're sore for a week, they're like, man, I don't really want to do this.
Yeah, I'm be sore like this every time, but
Yeah.
you always adapt. So yeah, I'm just always kind of prying and like little by little baby steps, just like with food or recovery. It's just like, how well can somebody hear based on what they're doing now? You know, like you seem dedicated in all your fitness stuff too. You know what I mean? Like you would probably be easier to hear than somebody that hasn't done anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or doesn't even like it.
Yeah,
But they're
or
like,
doesn't
man,
like
I'm
it."
trying to get into
Exactly.
this.
Yeah. So it's a lot of mindset stuff, I would say. And like I read a lot in psychology and motivation. So what gets people going and yeah. So like that's really important to me too.
Is there like a common theme when it comes to getting people motivated? I know everybody is different, and some
Yeah.
people are going to be pushed differently than others. But is there like a bulk of people that get pushed similarly?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if there's I think everybody's a little different, you know? Like I started training my jiu-jitsu coach Bryce, and he's a hard worker, like a very hard worker, and that's something that I think I try to read into like myself. I always was like a go-getter, but like I felt like nobody believed in me when I was younger, and I had to be the only one to believe in myself. And like I had to push myself, or else nobody's gonna do it, you know. So like I never got that praise I felt like I deserved. So like for me, I always think I had like a chip on my shoulder. So like I look into the Bryce and I feel like he's the same as me, you know. And I don't know, just how do I dig into people's psyche a little bit? Yeah, I don't think there's anybody that's one size fits all or common. It's just like, how can I be a good coach and help them? Because there's so many different people that have stuff going on, you know, like they could be too busy at work. Like I would train like a neurosurgeon, like a brain surgeon, and he's like stressed at work. If somebody has like a case and they died in his operating table, like he's taking that in. He didn't sleep last night. Like, why do I need to like push him to fucking exhaustion when he has another surgery? You know, it's like I have to think about who I'm working with and why and what.
Understand the bigger picture.
Yeah, so it all depends. So
Yeah.
like that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help in any way possible. Just like the outside people, the looks aren't everything to me. And like I think
Just the
that
performance, how your
not
body
even, not even
works.
performance. Yeah, not even performance. Just like how is your mindset? How are you progressing in life? I feel like I'm not just a trainer. Like I'm more like a health coach or
A life coach.
a life coach. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Because when you're talking about nutrition, you're talking about working out, you're talking about understanding their lives and what they're going through.
Yeah.
That's a life coach, man.
Yeah,
because
definitely,
if I'm training you just for performance or working out, I feel like, yeah, I understand you're going through some shit, but you're here with me now. Fucking get this done.
Yeah.
Versus if you're a life coach, you're like, man, I understand that's some heavy shit to deal with.
Yeah.
So let's get through this workout, give the best, I guess, performance that you can at the time, try your best, and then, there's always tomorrow.
There's always more. Yeah, and I always look at like how serious people take it too. Like for me, like I'm wearing a Whoop strap that tells me like how much
want one of those so bad.
Yeah, how much I recover. Yeah, I actually was a founder, so I got it in 2013.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah, I liked learning this research a long time ago. So like, it also talks about your central nervous system, like how fried are you? Like, are you working like 80 hours a week in your job and you're so stressed in life and you got kids and you're barely sleeping? Like I'm looking at scores like that and like dictating that towards our workout, because if you keep like pushing them to the edge, like, shit could happen. Maybe they go like a little bit nuts in their head, or like they get sick. That's a big thing too. Overtraining or too much stress in your body can get you sick. Stuff like that, like adrenal fatigue. So I'm always thinking about like all different things. Like even I had this guy, he's a singer today, and he was like, man, you're so motivated. Like, how do you stay motivated and like look the way you look? And I was like, dude, you sing every day. You were just telling me, right? Like, I can't. If I were to want to get better at singing, I need to sing every day, right? So it's like it's just a habit. Like, are you keeping those same habits? Like, I'm not trying to look a certain way. I'm just doing the habits that have luckily gave me this physique. If that's what you think I'm like training every day for, like I'm really not. I'm training for like to live as long as I can. I'm training to be athletic, to be healthy, to be vibrant, to like be happy. You know what I'm saying? Like
exceed your limits.
Yeah, like I don't really care how I look. To a certain extent, I mean, I'm always trying to look as best I can, but like that's not something I'm like really, really focused on. Like it's just the habits I'm focused on.
Yeah, I feel like if people are hyper focused on how they look and you tear your ACL because you didn't work out your knee properly,
exactly.
It's like, who really gives a shit about that six pack, dude?
Yeah,
you need to work those knees out.
Yeah, exactly. True, you're right, 100%.
Yeah, man. So it's your mental, like you've been saying. It goes back to your mental. What do you really care about? What is your biggest goal? If it's to look good, that's not really too hard. You lose some body fat, your abs start to pop, you look pretty good. It's not too hard to do.
No, that's cool. It's hard. I mean, it's a great feat. Like I wanted to do that when I first started. Like, and that's a great goal if you're just starting. Like maybe it's the vanity and like maybe you want to get some girls and or guys or whatever it is you want to get or whatever you're attaining to. That's fine. But I'm here to also open up other doors, get you thinking in other ways too. So like when you get that body and like you can't move at all and like you're so stiff and your joints hurt because you're not
your
like
neck is broke.
Yeah, like that's great. But like, what's the next thing? Maybe you can have it all if you listened. And like that's why hiring like a trainer or a coach, that's something that's really good and reputable. They can kind of get you there faster. Like I have a lot of coaches and trainers and things that I look into, or people like mentors that are for me, and they can get me places way faster than I could on my own. So like it's good to have people that are doing stuff that are a little bit ahead of you, because they're going to give you the best like practice. Exactly.
You're going to be able to watch and learn and implement. There's no way that we could just know everything right away. We have to experience some things. Learning. And I feel like a lot of people have a lot of different ways that they work out that maybe aren't as popular or in the norm of bench press, deadlift, or sled push. They do some weird shit like a lot of balance work. That's something that I'm starting to shift towards and away from like just weights, but like balance. Let me get a kettlebell and hold it upside down and walk around, or maybe do some lunges with it or something like that.
That's great. Exactly. Yeah, it's doing different things. Stability. Yeah, it depends on what you need. Like if you're doing all these races and you think your knee's like a little bad, doing that stability stuff is so beneficial for you. And doing like the single leg self lunges, like what's your why? Why are you doing it? Like it's cool if it's a cool workout and you just want to challenge yourself, like that's totally fine. But if you think about like maybe having the best of both worlds, like you're saying, I mean, it's great.
Yeah. So training with some of these like athletes that you're training with, like Bryce, as you mentioned, Bryce is a badass motherfucker, man. I remember the first time I rolled with Bryce, I was scared. I was like, this little dude could rip my arms off of my body whenever he wants to, man. Shout out to Bryce. Shout out to Bryce. But when you're working with these guys, like, is there ever a time when you sit back and you're like, man, this is pretty fucking cool? This is
definitely,
pretty fucking cool.
Of course, man. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like once you're in it, like, people are people. Like, when I first started training some pro athletes, I was like, damn, this is sick. This is what I wanted. This is awesome. And it is great. Like, but then you start to see, like, people are people, and then you stop being, like, a fan. You started, like...
You're the same as me. You're
just
really good at what you do.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Everybody's, like, the same. So, like, I'll meet celebrities or whatever, people that are playing pro ball, or, like, I'm working in New York City at these gyms where it's like NBA players, NBA refs are right there, and I'm the one leading them and everything, and they're giving me the respect. And it's like, at the end of the day, like, people are people. But I think in the beginning, you like want to do like the best job. I remember when I first got a job out of college, I was asking one of my older coworkers, he had a lot more experience than I did. I was like, oh, what do I have to do for like this activation? What should I be doing? You know? And he was giving me all this stuff, and I was just trying to write it down and try to remember, and like very nervous.
I bet.
Yeah, but then you get like, I mean, the more knowledgeable you are and you can
More
articulate that and confident, then
Yeah.
it's just like it's easy, you know, it becomes easier.
Yeah, because you sit down and you say, I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Exactly,
it doesn't matter if I'm training Susie or if I'm training LeBron James.
Exactly,
you know,
yeah.
I know what I'm doing, and these guys are coming to me for a reason.
And the thing I would say is, like, training like a great athlete, like a professional athlete, it's like, you don't want to be the reason to get them hurt too, you know? Like, that's a big thing. Like, they're coming to you to like
Prevent that.
Yeah, prevent that one. So you don't want to just like be like, oh, I'm gonna fucking bust your ass because I'm a tough ass trainer. Like, you don't want to make it too soft either too. You want to make sure you know they're there, you know your shit, and you're on point. You're there for them, not there for your own ego. So like, that's something too. Like, you don't want to like kill somebody for no reason and they're coming back hurt, or like worse than they came in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and there's time and place. Sometimes you gotta like push hard, and like I'll tell my pro athletes, all right, this is the off season. We're getting better and we're getting more athletic. So training's gonna be fucking hard, and we're gonna be pushing, and you're gonna be beat up and sore. But this is like
that shit.
This is our routine. Like, you're not in season, you're in off season. This is where you work on your craft. Maybe when you're in season, you work on like the little shit, the stability stuff, the just
recovery,
the maintenance,
active training.
Yeah, you're maintaining. But right now, if you want to get better, like, this is the time to really grind and get better.
Yeah. So how long, at what age would you say did you start understanding, like, damn, man, I have weaknesses in my, I don't want to say physique, but in my vessel that I need to maximize or shore up. Like, for instance, my groin and my knee, or, you know, I have weak shoulders or whatever it may be. At what point did you start noticing, man, I gotta become a complete athlete?
Yeah, I think that we're always like a work in progress. Like, I have little injuries. I have little things that I could work on, stuff that I'm not taking care of, like mobility. Luckily, I'm pretty good, and I haven't got too hurt, and hopefully I don't, you know, but I do a decent job, I would say. But I noticed I really needed to get more mobile and more better with my body when I started doing CrossFit. So like, I got out of I stopped playing. I started always played basketball, but I was like, oh, CrossFit, let me try this thing that I've been hearing about. I went one time, and I was like, oh, I love this. I'm hooked. It's competitive. It's fitness. I'm already good with that. I got good cardio. So then I started loving that. But then I saw, like, we were doing like overhead squat with a barbell, and like I couldn't even do a PVC pipe. Like, I had no shoulder stability, mobility. I couldn't even get a full range of motion squat. Every time, like, oh, that's not going low enough. And luckily, I was with I got on a really good team that was like a competitive team, and you know, a lot of the guys were better than me at that time, and they had better movement patterns than me. So like, I had to like think about, like, damn, why am I not being able to do this stuff? So I started just like looking into mobility, buying a mobility program called ROMWOD, Range of Motion Workout of the Day. And I actually just put a post today about that. And I did like the hour mobility every day, and I would go to the gym. When I had clients, or I had an hour break, I would get on the foam roller. I would put a kettlebell on my stomach, foam roll my back so I get more pressure, and put it on my shoulder back here. And I just kept on doing that little stuff, and I would work on like positions, like, and just hold the position, like hold the squat with the barbell and stay down there for a long time. I went to seminars for mobility. I went to a seminar at the Performance Institute like maybe 5-6 years ago, functional range of motion, and it was cool to like be in that facility, but also like see like what the top mobility experts are doing and what they could do with their body, and like it just made a lot of sense, you know. And like he was saying, it's your job, it's your call. If you want to get out of pain, you got to take the time to do something about it, or you could just stay in pain and be hurt and have less mobility. So like, I always made that a big goal of mine to work on my mobility. So I would say like at 22, I remember I was getting a massage, and this girl was like, I've never felt anybody that's as tight as you. Like, cause I was lifting a lot, but I wasn't stretching. I wasn't doing any mobility. I wasn't foam rolling. He's like, your muscles are like knots. And I was like, what do you mean? I didn't even know what she meant. So then I started getting CrossFit, and then I just saw that I was so tight and restricted, and I had to like work on my craft, man. And
do you do yoga?
I did like I've done a bunch of classes, but I don't do yoga per se, but I think it's a great thing to do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah. What active, like, are you stretching every day still today? Or?
Yeah, I do a lot of mobility. I always like my workouts before I start. I'm always doing like mobility. I think mobility at night before you go to bed is probably the best time. So like I'll foam roll at my best. I'll do some stretching, things like that, like before bed, because then your body's
loosen
like
up the muscles.
Yeah, but when you're sleeping, your body's repairing and healing, so like can get into those range of motions faster. But if you look at me like in any jiu-jitsu class I'm taking now, or any class, like I'm constantly like moving my body. I'm always like on the floor stretching. If somebody's talking about something, like I'm just kind of hyper, and I'm always like moving my body around or stretching some area. So I get in a good amount of mobility. I would say like every day I'm doing a good amount.
Yeah, man. When I got out of the Army, my body was so tight. I used to like wake up out of my sleep in pain from like my back and just my hamstrings. I couldn't touch my toes. I couldn't even touch my ankles.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was fucked up, man. I got a so right.
Okay,
and then I started using that thing as godsend.
Helped a lot, yeah.
One of the best tools I ever used.
I have one too, but I haven't used it too much. But yeah, it's good. It's great.
It's fantastic,
nice.
dude. I had pain from the shit I did in the Army. I had pain like in my groin and my psoas, and after using the So Right one time, pain that bothered me for like 5 years straight went away, never came back.
Damn,
and that was
So
3
Right.
years ago. That thing it's incredible,
great,
man.
That's awesome. Yeah,
It's
I didn't know that.
incredible.
Okay. That's awesome. Yeah, man.
They got
crazy.
a So Spine too. That thing is pretty
Okay.
badass, but the So Right is it's perfect.
Yeah, good, man. Very
So
nice.
you said that you do jiu-jitsu. Have you been at Extreme Couture like since you first got back to Vegas?
Yeah, well, I never did like any martial arts growing up at all, and like it was just it was cool to get into. I started watching like a little bit UFC, and I always like wanted to like get into some type of martial arts, you know. Like I've been in fights when I was younger. I did all right, you know. But yeah, I try to keep the peace. But
right.
But I would like to learn like just the art of it. Like it's cool. It's great to like learn how to defend yourself, and maybe like as a trainer, I always like look at like I did basketball, then I did CrossFit well. I was ranked in the Northeast. I played semi-pro ball. Like, why can't I learn other sports? Like why not? I'm not. Age is just like a number, and like also like you have so much time in this earth to like develop and learn new skills, like whether it be nutrition or meditation or cold water stuff. Like you can always do other stuff. You always have time. So when people tell me like they don't have time or whatever, like that's your choice. But
you got to make
like,
time.
Yeah, you got 100 years in life, maybe 150. That's my goal. But you got a lot of time to do different stuff, man. Like you're doing a podcast. That's amazing. Like, there's so many things you can do. You do the Army, you know what I mean? You got the Spartan races. Like, what can you do in this lifetime? Like, as your avatar, I always think about like the game like we're in life. Like, we can pick up all these skills and everything.
Like
so
Sims.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Like, it's cool if you look at it that way, I think. What was the question again? Sorry about that.
I think I asked about jiu-jitsu, and
Jiu-jitsu, okay.
yes,
So
jiu-jitsu,
so
if you got into jiu-jitsu immediately.
So before I moved to New York that summer, there was a Taekwondo instructor that was teaching boxing outside, and he was from Senegal, and he actually was Olympian, and he was just training people outside, like $30 a session, and he started training me like boxing, and it was fun. Like looking back in the videos, like I was garbage, like hands down all the time, but like you get better as you go, So like that was cool. And then I came to Las Vegas, and I saw these two guys sitting down, had UFC shirts on when I went to eat one day, and I was like, hey, I'm a trainer. Do you guys train anywhere? And they were like, oh, if you're looking to get into stuff, you should go to Extreme Couture, actually. So that was the first gym I joined for martial arts, my wife, and I didn't know shit. Like, we would go to maybe like, not even into it that much, maybe like we would go 2-3 days a week, and like, I feel like they're a little advanced, at least at that time. Like, I didn't know anything at all, so it's like,
sink or swim.
Yeah,
almost.
you're coming in like not knowing anything. It's like, they have an hour, they're not going to spend as much time unless you're doing like privates as you want. So I didn't know anything. So I was going in there, and it was pretty leisure, and I would do other MMA classes, stuff like that. But after like 3 months, I was like, all right, maybe I'll go to another gym and like maybe it's a little slower pace and like maybe I can get the foundations because like I skipped all the foundation. You know what I mean? So I went to another jiu-jitsu gym and Gracie gym, and it was great. I learned like a ton, and it was a lot more slowed down. And then after a while, I felt like I was getting a little bit better, and I wanted to go back to Extreme Couture. So then I did, and it's been great ever since. So I've been basically doing it for like on and off for like 2 years. We went to New York for like 5 months in that span. So I've been here so like maybe a year and a half consistently, and I feel like now it's like making a lot of sense, and I'm getting a lot better at it, and it's just a fun journey, I would say. And then I started like going to other open mats where like there's UFC champions there, like Sterling and things like that, and it's cool. Like I'm seeing these guys roll.
Did you go to Syndicate?
And I went to 10th Planet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, seeing all these guys like train, I'm like, damn, I'm right here with like the best in the world. And it's like, I'm not saying I'm good, but like I'm not like that far off to like be able to like roll with them or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like cool. I'm in a good spot. I'm getting a lot better. Obviously, my athleticism, my strength helps out a ton. And I know like how I am. I'm gonna invest my time in, and it's another like challenge to get better. So that's been cool. And I started meeting other people, and I was like, hey, maybe I can use my skills for training to help an MMA person, and maybe they can teach me like striking. So I have a striking coach now. Shout out to my guy Rudy, has a fight in 2 weeks actually in Colombia.
Hey.
And yeah, so it's cool. Like I'm learning like different disciplines, and like even that stuff mobility wise, like it's hard to kick high and it's hard to control your kicks. Yeah. And he has a karate background, so he's like very strict on like holding position. So it's like my hips are getting like I feel like I have good mobility, but I'm like doing that, and I'm like, damn. There's levels. There's levels.
Mobility shit.
Yeah. So it's like different sports have different things you have to get good at. So like the journey of just like different aspects of fitness always continues, and it's been great. It's been fun.
Do you kind of leverage like, hey man, I'll train you if you train me?
Yeah, exactly. So I've been doing that, and that's kind of leveled me up faster because like now I like understand a little more, and like I put things together and like give me more reps to get better too, which has been awesome.
Yeah, man. Jiu-jitsu is different. It definitely builds a lot of mental toughness. My very first day, we went in there, we rolled, we drilled for 20 minutes, then rolled 5-minute rounds, and I was like, holy shit, this is what goes down. Okay.
Yeah, me too. I always been a great conditioning athlete, cardio athlete, and doing that, I was like, damn, this cardio is different.
It's different, man. Especially like if you got a 220-pound guy laying on top of you
and shit. Yeah, exactly.
It's like, man, 5 minutes of this dude just laying on top of me, beating my ass, and fighting for my fucking life.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's my confidence in being able to defend myself has, upgraded tenfold since I started training at Extreme Couture. I boxed a lot when I was younger, but with jiu-jitsu is just different. When you get used to big motherfuckers, I'm not a big guy. You know what I'm saying? So when you get used to big motherfuckers grabbing you, you know what it feels like.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Now it's to the point where it's like, grab me, motherfucker, grab me.
Yeah, I'm ready, I already experienced this, exactly.
I already been here. I know what to do. I'm not the best at it at all.
Yeah.
But I'm better than most people on the streets if
true,
it ever came down to that, which hopefully I never get in a fight in my life ever again.
Exactly.
Unless it's in the gym.
Yeah.
Because it's controlled. Nobody really gets hurt.
Exactly.
It's
you
fun.
don't want to do that. You want to be, what did they say, a warrior in a garden, right? Not a gardener in a war, right?
Oh, yeah. I feel that. I feel that for sure.
Yeah, right? Because you can defend yourself. You don't want to, like, you want to keep the peace. But
exactly.
if there's a war, if you're a gardener, you might be fucked.
I feel like everybody, man, should do some type of martial art.
It's cool, man, but it's scary to hop in there, man.
It's scary as fuck.
I go in there.
Very intimidating.
Especially in the beginning, if, like, you're not athletic or fit. Even if you are, it's like... Anything new is scary. Like I remember, even to this day now, I'll go into like really good gyms or any gyms, and I feel like, damn, I don't know if I should go, man. This is gonna be a tough day. I don't know if I'm ready. But then like you do it, and it's like it's all good, man. You stepped in there,
and you have a blast.
You have a blast, and you're always like coming out of there like, damn, that's good. I'm glad I went. Like
when it comes to jiu-jitsu, I feel like every single time I go, when I'm done, I'm a better person.
Yeah.
Even if it's small incremental gains. I don't get that from lifting weights, and I fucking love lifting weights, man. I'm finally kind of good at it. It took a long time of doing it wrong, but I don't get the same appreciation, and I guess appreciation is the perfect word, man. Jiu-jitsu is just it's a different ball game.
Yeah, no, it's like whatever you've done, like even for me, like lifting it's cool, it's fun, but I'm like, I like the next challenge. Like in jiu-jitsu, it's a challenge. Like the weights they're gonna challenge you, but like I don't know, just like whatever you do that's like kind of newish or like you're not so great at it, I think it's like it's fun, you know?
Yeah,
it's fun. It's like it's
for
play,
sure.
it's play. Like you're not just like doing it to do it. You're there, like you're playing, you're having fun, you're learning, you're defending yourself. There's so many benefits of it.
Yeah. I started, like I told you before, I started doing jiu-jitsu with my daughter. So on Saturdays, no matter what, I don't have anything planned.
Nice.
We're at Extreme Couture and we're doing our thing. And watching her get better is so badass.
Yeah,
dude.
I can't wait to have
And then when
her daughter and see them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting, man. It's exciting when you have a person like Bryce teaching your kids. It's like, holy shit, this guy is awesome.
Yeah.
And then he's very good with kids too.
Sure, yeah.
But it's so cool because we can come home and I could teach her. Hey, baby, we're gonna drill arm bars today. Let's work on this arm bar.
Yeah.
And my daughter's 5, so it's like, man, to see you take something that I taught you yesterday and then go to jiu-jitsu the next day and do it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just like how I showed you.
Awesome,
I'm like,
man.
oh my gosh. Whether I teach her to right or wrong is besides the point. Just to watch her do it, man, is so cool. And jiu-jitsu is just straight facing adversity.
Hell yeah, man.
Head motherfucking on.
For sure.
Because you have another person that's trying their best to either choke you out or eliminate you somehow.
That's true.
So it's a good journey, man.
I remember I helped out a
journey.
kids class as well, and it was the same thing, man. Like, and seeing how smart these kids are, or just like how they pick up things, I'm like, damn, this little kid that's like 7 knows more than I know, you know? Like, and they pick up things so fast, and it's like automatic. But that's how it's got to be. It's just got to be like me practicing basketball was like automatic, dribbling a ball. It's got to be automatic. And I think when they're so young, it's also like the stuff I like think about is like your brain waves are like so low that you're able to like lock in, and it becomes like easier to learn.
Yeah.
When we get older, like our brains are just kind of stuck in our ways, and it's hard for us to be adaptable.
True.
And that's why they say like psychedelics or like meditation are good for those brain waves, because it kind of brings your body down a little bit, like your brain waves or your waves in your body a little more down, so you're able to be receptive or see the change, or to be able to be open to new synapses or changes. And like the cold water does the same thing too, you know, it like puts your body more relaxed, you know. So like those are things like I think are great, and I always think about kids in that way, like their brain waves are so low that and definitely they can learn so much faster.
Yeah, no, for sure. Before I get to the cold water immersion stuff, because that shit is hardcore and it's very fun. It's a small journey that I started. But you said psychedelics, man. I feel like I started dabbling with psychedelics a couple years ago. And I don't know, bro. I highly recommend for people. Like I deal with anxiety and shit like that, or even doing self-diagnosis with micro dosing of mushrooms for daytime drowsiness.
Interesting. Okay.
And just like a very small amount of mushrooms, bro, helped me. My alertness is a lot more up. I don't fall asleep how I usually do. Mushrooms are the shit for a lot of different things.
Yeah, no, I agree, definitely. Yeah, no, I agree. Same thing. I used to be like super straight edge growing up. Like, if you smoked weed or whatever when I was 18, like I'm not gonna be your friend. Like, whatever. Just like,
ball was life.
Yeah, ball was life. Exactly, ball was life for sure. So I was pretty like hardcore, and then I started learning and like listening to like people talk, and like there's ways to take it. So I remember buying my first book on like, it was like this therapeutic guide to psychedelics, whatever. So like I started reading this book, and it was like talking about like in therapy why people take it and how to take it and the best practices. So like my first journey was hiking with some friends, and it was good. It was nothing crazy. Like it was like a chocolate mushroom, and we were just talking, vibing out, having a great conversation. And then the next time I took it, we took a lot more like real mushrooms, and we did it the right way, blind, like putting like a sleeping mask over your eyes, laying out in nature, and like, man, I feel like I saw like projections of like the future, and I saw like how things were, and I saw how my mind was working, and laughing with my wife. Like it was a great experience, and I feel like she healed a lot of trauma. I'm sure I healed a lot of trauma too, and I feel like it was just great. But then like I've also like, as you become a psychedelic explorer a little bit, you start to take it more and more and like kind of be a little cocky, and I've taken it like Venice Beach when it starts getting dark and it's like sketchy out there, and you see like people like, I don't know, tattoos on their face, throwing their kid in the air. Like, it just gets a little sketchy and you can kind of freak out. And I've heard like stories of people at parties taking it, and like, to me, the setting is very important. So like, never taking that shit too lightly. And I think about taking it like in like a therapeutic type of sense. I mean, even the microdose too, I've done that. That's not like a crazy amount, but like you just feel a little like happier. You notice yourself. Like some things
it's very,
very
very
easier.
small changes.
Such a small change.
Heightened emotions, positive emotions, and then a decline in anxiety and depression and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And just like you mentioned, like just more aware, man. More, you mentioned seeing the future, and dude, I could relate. You know, depending on how your trip is going, who you're with, you go to different places and experience different things. But I could say that almost every time I've done mushrooms, other than like microdosing, if I actually took some,
dose,
I feel like I learned something.
Always,
I learned something about myself or trauma. Oh my God, I don't know how much trauma that I have eliminated or accepted, for better words, from a trip.
Absolutely, yeah. I remember crying to my wife. We took it together, and like I was just right next to her crying. I was like, damn, I feel like I treat you like a little bad, you know. Sometimes I'm just like crying next to her, and it's like cool. You like kind of like
understand.
Yeah, you self-understand. Like, damn, I'm doing this shit. Maybe I should stop, or I should be nicer to this person. Or you see your parents getting older. It's like
I gotta appreciate the time.
It kind of just like resets you into thinking like, what's the bigger picture? Like, what's really important? Like, how can I grow and get a little better? But I think like, you know, media gives such a bad rap to all this stuff, and they're pushing like pills and shit.
It's
like
all
crazy.
about the money.
It's all about the money.
It's all about the fucking money, man.
But yeah, you can take things smart, you can take things stupid, and there's people that take drugs like stupidly too. You know what I mean? Like, and you can get caught up, and your brain can get fucked up from that shit too. Like,
you gotta respect.
Respect it. True,
respect 100%. For sure, and know what the fuck you're doing.
Yes.
I'm not just gonna do some shit and be like, "Hey, man, my buddy Johnny said this shit is fire.
Exactly.
I'm gonna fuck with it."
Exactly.
No, I'm gonna do my research and make sure I don't.
Definitely.
You know, my arm doesn't fucking stop working tomorrow or
Very
something.
true, yeah.
All right, so you said cold water immersion, man. I see you post your videos of you in your barrel in the backyard. I think it was fucking hailing one day, and you're in there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's so badass looking. I gotta do that.
That's cool. That's cool look.
So
right?
I started with, I think it was on Thanksgiving. My cousin came out here. I love my cousin. I respect him a whole bunch. And he was talking about cold showers. He was like, it doesn't matter how much I have to do or how little I sleep. I know that if I open my eyes and I get in that cold shower, I'm going to be good to go. So he kind of like revitalized my spirit for the cold, because I've been in cold water a lot during my army time.
Nice. Oh yeah, you were saying, right?
Yeah, I was like, man, I like the hot water, but now every day for the last 3 months, I take a cold shower at the gym after my workouts.
Nice.
I do my sauna, and then I hit the cold shower.
Very nice.
Then back on the Limitless show, they were talking about how cold water immersion. It was like, if you take the last 30 seconds of every shower that you take, it will decrease your chances of Alzheimer's by 30%.
Wow, interesting. I didn't know that.
So I was like, holy shit, like there's so many benefits to adapting to the cold, because it's forcing your body to like face a small amount of anxiety every time you do it.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah,
it teaches you how to deal and cope with small amounts of anxiety. And yeah, man, it gets you out your comfort zone. Life is too fucking easy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I think it was like maybe a Joe Rogan episode or something like that. He was like, can you imagine, 100 years, 150 years ago, they didn't have fucking warm showers. Everything was cold showers, man. We're so spoiled these days.
Spoiled, yeah, crazy.
So yeah, man, I want to adapt to the cold water and eventually only take cold showers.
Yeah.
But with you, how often are you doing the cold water dumps?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a journey, right? So I started following this guy, Wim Hof. You ever heard of him?
No, I haven't.
It's called The Iceman. He has a great documentary as well. So he's a guy from the Netherlands. Yeah, in the Netherlands. And I guess his wife committed suicide when he was like younger. And he ended up going to the lake and going in there, and it kind of like cleared his head a lot,
Was the lake cold as shit?
Yeah, the lake was cold and shit. Like there's ice in the lake and everything. So then he started doing this often and doing his breath work. And it got me into doing that too. And what got me interested is like they had him in I think like a tank, and he was all full of ice, and he stayed in there for like an hour, and he controlled his core temperature. His temperature didn't lower at all.
Like the monks.
Yeah, exactly. So he was like locked in, and some way, just breathing techniques, from the cold. And then he also, they shot him with the endotoxin. They shot him with E. coli, and he was able to withstand. His body like fought it and didn't get that. And then he did it with like I think 21 subjects that he trained for like 3 weeks only. And they also passed and didn't get that in their body. So I was like, damn, there's something to like this cold, and there's something to like our brains and our bodies that we have like these superpowers we can lock into if we tap into them. So like
Wolverine.
I bought his, exactly. So I bought his program, and it was like breath work. So like I'll do every time holotropic breathing. Every morning, that's my meditation. I'll do that, like 3 rounds of that, hold my breath as long as I can, release it out, and then I'll meditate for like 5-10 more minutes after that. So like that was kind of like the intro to the cold. On top of that, he was like, you need to take a cold shower every morning. Start the first week, 30 seconds.
Only
and
cold.
Well, end with 30 seconds. Put as high as you want. And the second week on the program, it was like start your cold shower and end it. Start it with 30 seconds. Put it high as you want. End it with 30 seconds. The third week was like you need to do like a 1-minute cold shower when you finish, and then it was like a 10-minute cold shower. So then I got into that, and like it was hard, but then it like everything that gets hard gets a little easier, right? Like anything, like jiu-jitsu gets easier as the more you go. So then I was like doing that, and I see him doing the cold exposure stuff, and I did a bunch of ice baths here and there, nothing like so consistent, but I did it here and there. And I went to a seminar in New York, and like his seminar was packed. It was like thousands of people, and like not only was the cold shit very important, and the scientists, and he had a lot of scientists there. They're talking about the benefits. We actually all jumped in cold like water for like 3 to 5 minutes outside in February in New York City. It was freezing. He had all this, but his energy was crazy. Like he was an older guy, and his like energy was like
he was just locked in.
Yeah, but like that was something that's vibrant. Like you don't meet too many people that like their energy is very infectious, and like there's something about him that like is invigorating. So like I was just always did the cold water stuff. Every time I went to the ocean, whether it's like winter, I was like, let me go in there for a little bit. Like I just kind of make it a habit to do that. And then I heard on Joe Rogan's podcast, some guy had like prostate cancer, and he looked up a study, how do you eliminate this without going to like chemo and all this stuff like that. And he found out there's like a Japanese study that said if you do an ice bath, I guess like 1 to 3 minutes before you exercise, it can help a lot. So then he did that, and he went back to his doctor. His doctor was like, I don't know what happened. Your prostate cancer shrunk like a lot of percentage, where it's like not really like too much of a problem anymore. And your testosterone went up to like a teenager, and he's in his 50s. And then I'm like, so this is something that I learned, and I'm like, damn, that is that much benefit. And I'm fucking 35. If I start doing this now, like what is it gonna do for my future? Like what?
Exactly.
How healthy am I gonna be? Like, and I'm already into like anti-aging, and I study like Harvard doctors. Shout out to Dr. David Sinclair. But like all these people that are talking about anti-aging and reverse aging and stuff like that. So like I'm always like listening to like what's the science a little bit, and like trying it, like anything, you gotta try shit and see if it works. So like I'm like, all right, let me see if I can do this every morning. And it sucks. Like I don't want to do that ice bath in the morning, you know what I mean? Like it's cold. It's been cold here, and people think Vegas is not cold. I'm like, it's cold, man, in the morning. Like it's 30s tomorrow. So like I was like, all right, the new year, I'm about to man up and try this as many days as I can. So like I did like 14 out of the 19 days so far. And
how long are you in there?
3 minutes in the mornings early. I've done more sometimes, but 3 minutes the minimum, and then sometimes middle of the day I'll just jump in there if I'm feeling like beat up or sore. But yeah, 3 minutes. It's been every morning, and honestly, I feel like so good. Like mentally, like hasn't been any bad days.
Just
I'm
real
not
sharp, real focused.
Really sharp, really focused, really positive all the time. And I feel like I'm on positive ground, but I feel like I'm leveled up in that way. And I don't know. I mean, I feel good, man. I'm healthy. I'm still able to do a lot of exercise, but I'm trying to take this challenge on. And yeah, it's not fun every day. It's not like I want to jump in there.
Yeah,
like,
it sucks.
It sucks. Yeah.
You're not doing it for how it feels. You're doing it for the results.
Yeah, but I feel like I said I wanted to do it, so I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I gotta like.
Hey, you know what, man? I give you my word. You will see me post on Instagram. I don't know how soon it will be.
Okay.
After I get my shit together, I will tag you. I will do it.
You'll feel great, man. Honestly,
the barrel that you got, like, where'd you get your barrel?
Now, my wife got it for me maybe like a year or 2 years ago, just as like a Christmas gift. I mean, I probably would love to have one of the better ones, but like
you gotta
whatever. Like I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like.
That's the only
but I'll
thing
clean
that
it
matters.
like once every 3 days, and I'll use it like every 3 days. And I'll,
so you fill it up,
I'll fill it up,
days,
ice,
and then
I'll
after
clean
3.
it and everything like that. And I'll put like Epsom salt in there too, just so like the salt kind of kills like some of the bacteria. I think, hopefully it does. Don't quote me on that, but hopefully it does. It smells better. When I smell good, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I'll do that and I'll shower after a little bit too, just to get all that nasty stuff off. But yeah, I've been doing that consistently. It's been like 7 or 8 days in a row, and like I'm trying to do it, man. I'm not trying to stop. Yeah,
that's so badass.
And it's funny. I have like I just got like this free blood test that I'll probably post that tells all your testosterone levels and all this stuff that I'm gonna take in maybe next week, and it'll be cool to see like the levels, and then like they'll probably have me do it in a few months, and also if anything changed or not. So that'd be cool to see like all like testosterone levels, blood levels, protein levels, things like that. Just how that affects, if it does.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, regardless, like you said, just the mental side that you're getting from it, the immediate mental. Because just from the little weak ass cold showers that I'm doing at the gym, it's like, man, I feel really good after this. Man, so to step it up with cold ass water with ice cubes and shit.
You could do it in your bathtub too, man. Like you could. I remember that's how I would do it every once in a while too. Like I would try to
fill it up with ice.
Well, I would start like it's not too bad. So get a couple of bags of ice, lay in the tub, put it on your body. It's not that bad, and then put the water to cold and just like stay in there. And you could probably do it longer than you think, and it's not too bad, honestly. And it's a good like way to like start the change, Yeah. So that's something I would do before too.
So what? Obviously, you got to have a professional basketball team that you follow. Who's your team?
I mean, honestly, I'm like not like a hater type person, so I like all the teams and all the players. I'm more like a player guy.
All right, give me your top 5 players that you like in the league right now.
Definitely like Steph Curry. He's nasty. Russell Westbrook's my guy, man. I used to love him, my favorite player. Like he's just nasty, like very tenacious, but he's on a little decline, but I love him still.
Hey, he's having a bounce back season this year, man, for sure. Not just the numbers, but I feel like I don't know if his confidence could ever, deter from the goal. But I remember last year, end of the game, they kicked the ball to Westbrook. We're down 2. He's at the 3-point line, and the whole crypto arena is yelling, "No!"
Yeah, it sucks, man.
You gotta be like, "Oh fuck, man, I'm doing something bad."
His mindset's gotta be so strong because like a lot of people can't handle that. That would mess you up, man.
Yeah,
but so like I respect him for all that too.
Steph, Westbrook,
LeBron's nasty. Obviously, Kyrie's handles crazy. I love him. John Morant, Zion. Like, I don't know, I'm just a player type of guy. All these guys are like super good, fun. Luka's nasty. Yeah, what about you? Who's your guy?
So it's hard, man. If you want to go all time, I'm a Kobe guy. I'm a big Lakers fan. Too, I was born in 94. Kobe came in 96. I started watching basketball heavy in like 2000, 2001. So like I just adapted to Kobe, and I adapted to that's like the standard. I didn't even know at the time, you know, when you start off watching, this is one of the greatest players ever.
Definitely.
Because you could watch Kobe drop 35 on you and it shut down your other best wing player on the team.
True, yeah.
So Kobe, but right now, man, Steph for sure. He's just that boy is different, man. As you know, and as we all know, he has changed the game of basketball, almost like that Wilt Chamberlain effect. I was telling my cousin, Wilt had it on the inside. They started making, the 3 seconds rules and new rules to stop Wilt. And then for Steph, he's doing it from the 3-point line.
Yeah, it's crazy,
and there's no rules that you could really change, man. And then he took hand checking away like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So it's like, you really can't stop this man.
Yeah, no, that's crazy, man. Even like I watch him train, like it's just so much brain stuff. Like it's like he's training with a tennis ball, and it's like everything's automatic. Like I remember he had this like, it looked like headphones, but it was like, I guess to make your brain waves fire better while you're shooting, so you kind of lock in that pattern. Yeah, so I seen that. I'm like, damn, what are these guys doing that we don't know? You know what I mean? Like they say LeBron invests like $1 million in his body. Doing a lot of crazy shit. That's cool. That's probably cutting edge. But yeah, all these guys are just amazing, man. Like, and it's cool to see different sports, different athletes, like what they're doing.
Yeah. I like Brandon Ingram, man, another Laker guy. But just watching his progression through the seasons, he came from Duke, real skinny dude. He put on a little bit of weight, but I've watched his progression. I watched him find his spots on the court. The elbow, man, if he gets to the elbow, it's game over from Brandon Ingram. He's dropping that shit.
All those guys in Lakers were nice, man. They got traded, but it's hard to play with. It's hard to play with like everything's like fit. So it's hard to play with like a great player like LeBron. Like he needs the ball a lot. Like they had Brandon Ingram, they had
Julius Randle,
they had
Kyle
Kuzma. Yeah, exactly. These guys are averaging like 25 a game. You know, like it's just one basketball. So it's like it's tough to shine sometimes. It depends who you're playing with. But yeah,
that's why I really like Lonzo, man.
Yeah, Lonzo too. He's on the team too. Exactly. Yeah,
impact the game so much, man. Beyond holding the basketball.
Yeah,
he can give you all. I'm a defensive guy too, man. Like if that's why I like Lonzo. He can give you a defensive team.
Yeah,
he can make it a defensive team. He's shooting 40% from three, but he can also pass the ball. So he's a 3-and-D player that can also run the offense, or he could get in. It's like hot potato, and he'll put it in the right spot.
Yeah, definitely.
So I respect those type of games, man. The thing that sucks about Lonzo is he's just injured all the time.
Yeah, sure.
Like Anthony Davis. I love Anthony Davis, but he's been injured since we won the championship.
True.
Some other casts that I like, man. Let's see. Who's somebody that I like that's not like super popular? One person that I hate to say I like is Jason Tatum, just because of the Celtics rivalry, but that boy is just cold.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I took my dad to a game at the Barclays Center when we were in New York, and it was a high school game. We saw him, Malik Monk. They were killing. And
on the same team?
Maybe they were against each other, maybe the same team, but like they were in high school. And I was like, damn, these two guys are gonna be nice.
Crazy.
Like, they're nice. Yeah, they were just killing. And then fast forward now, JC's one of the best in the league. Malik Monk's a great player too. But it's cool to see these guys like high school.
Some points quick,
nasty,
man. Tyrese Halliburton, I think he's fucking gangster.
I didn't watch him play yet, but I see him kill. His stats are crazy.
He's the shit. He definitely demands the floor or commands the floor, however you want to look at it. He's absolute amazing floor general.
Check him out.
Gonna play some good defense. Gonna knock down the three, but he's gonna make the right play. DeJounte Murray, I love watching him play for the Hawks. When the Hawks traded for him with the Spurs, I was like, ooh, Trae Young and DeJounte Murray in the back. I think this is going to be a pretty nice team. They haven't performed how I thought so far.
I think they got to trade Collins and get somebody. I mean, I like Collins too. But I think they just don't. People got to work well together. Yeah, you got to find
talking about
some other players because they're nice. Like if you got Trae could shoot anywhere. DeJounte Murray's nice. Yeah, Capella. They got a good team. They got some shooters. Yeah, you just got to find the right fits, man. Like, it's tough. You got it. And there's so many good teams out there now.
Yeah, it's weird with the Hawks in particular because they could give you 50 wins one year, and then the next season they'll win 35. And then the next year they'll go to the Eastern Conference Finals or some shit like that.
Crazy.
So they're a weird team. There's another cat that just popped into my mind, man. Who was it? There's so many damn good players right now.
Yeah. You know, I never watched Jokic play, but man, he's nice. I kind of doubt him because like his body looks
not
like
athletic.
Yeah, he could pass. Those little tip-ins he gets, I'm like, how do you have that touch? Yeah, he's nice, man.
Yeah, man. I feel like it's almost cheating for him.
Yeah,
like
crazy,
he can play like this in my mind until he wants to hang it up because he's not. He doesn't run fast.
Yeah, that's true.
Doesn't even really jump off the floor.
Nah, he doesn't.
It's just he's an absolute dynamic basketball player, bro. The way he affects the game is crazy. You think he's gonna win the third MVP in a row?
I mean, I've seen the stats are like better than the last 2 years, so they're pretty crazy.
He's averaging like 25, 12, and 10.
I don't know, man. I think Luka's been killing. And I don't know. It depends on your record to me. Like, to me, MVP is like a winner. I mean, obviously, Denver's been winning, but like, can you give me that chip? To me, like, I know it's like you're not gonna get MVP before you get like you're not gonna win a championship, and then they're gonna give you MVP after. But to me, it's like if you're a real winner. Like, that's how I define, like, Kobe won a lot of championships, you know? LeBron won a lot of championships. Jordan won a lot of championships. So many great players that could put up stats. Yeah. But can you really, like, win? Like, to me, that's different.
Yeah, if you're winning and you're putting up the stats, that equals you're a great player.
That's how I feel, yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference between a star and a superstar. A superstar is going to affect the game, is going to get you wins.
Yeah.
You know, Charles Barkley, amazing player. He never got the ring. He never got the ring. I'm going to still say he's a superstar, but it's a difference.
There's those levels, but like
Tracy McGrady.
Yeah, Tracy. Yeah.
Great example. That's the guy that never got a ring. One of my favorite players.
I guess you can't really say like these guys aren't
superstars.
Yeah, like they are. Like I can't shut down Charles Barkley.
But nobody's gonna remember them.
Yeah, I like the. Yeah, I feel like if you win, that's like a different level. Like you're a little bit more leveled up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You cemented yourself into the game of basketball because no matter what, they're gonna say, in 1988, so and so won the championship, and this person was the Finals MVP. So it's like, yeah, man, you gotta get those dubs. Who you think's taking it this year?
I'm going with the Warriors again, man. I know they're having a bad season, but I just feel like they just got too much like talent.
Firepower.
I mean, they're not playing good like the bench people, but like they're just like deep.
It's too much.
And like their firepower is crazy. And I feel like once they click, like they click.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they got Steph and Clay on the team, and if those two are hot,
you got Poole's nasty. You got Draymond still playing great.
Andrew Wiggins
is great too, man. I used to hate on Wiggins, but he plays well with them. Yeah,
perfect with
for them. Yeah,
and man, my biggest, I guess, criticism for that team is the lack of progression for James Wiseman.
Yeah.
Before the season, I was like, man, this team is going to be even better than last year.
Even Kuminga trains out here in Vegas too, and he's good, great too. But I guess defense.
He's a dog too.
Yeah, I guess defensively they say not the best.
For Kuminga?
Yeah,
I thought he played good defense.
I don't know. I've been hearing otherwise, but I mean, got to fit in the Warriors. Like they got other guy Moody that's really good. He killed in the G League. I mean, they're deep. They got DiVincenzo right there. I don't know. Every player is like really good, but it's just fit. Like anything is fit.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's gonna, I guess, derail the Warriors is if somebody in the West has a really solid big man that could.
You think so?
Fuck
like real big,
up.
like a 7-footer, like Joe Kidd?
Like Joe Kidd, Joe Kidd or Cat. I feel like the Timberwolves are like they're really underperforming right now after trading everything for Rudy.
Timberwolves, man, oh man, they always disappoint me. I can't even have.
They traded 5 first-round picks for Rudy Gobert, and these guys don't even have a winning record.
Yeah, they always too bad, man.
They might as well blow it up.
I don't know. I feel like it should be like so good. They're hyping them up, man. They traded for D'Lo. Like I don't know. I just feel like they should be better.
They should for sure. But I mean, in the trenches in the West, it's hard, man.
Yeah, the West is deep.
There's 10 teams over there that
the records are crazy. It's like everybody has like the same record from like 3 to 12. It's like it's off by like 5 games. Yeah, something like that. That's wild, man. Yeah,
that makes the playing tournament that much more exciting.
Yeah, I wasn't with it, but now I kind of like it.
No, I was against it for sure. I think the first one was like the Lakers versus the Warriors, the 8th seed.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a great. Yeah, you got.
And I was like, oh man, the game was fantastic. But at the end of the day, it's like, man, you shouldn't even get this opportunity because
cool. I like it though. I mean, it's all about money in the end, and
and
for sure, and shit. But it's cool, especially like those teams that like people want to see LeBron, people want to see Steph. I get it.
Do you think it's a rule change to give them an extra opportunity in their latter years?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, maybe not latter years. Just I think like the little teams that like are fun.
Yeah,
I think so.
Like the Trailblazers, if they get into the play-in and Dame drops 65 or something.
Yeah, exactly, definitely.
It's good for the image.
Yeah, sure.
Good for the league. All right, Jeff, every time I have somebody get on the pod, man, I ask them, who is somebody that you would like to see get on the podcast and talk to me, whether it's about sports or what they do, anything like that. Who's somebody that you would like to see in that chair?
Question. I like to see my wife in the chair.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's a vegan. She's a beast, man. She does a pull-ups 45 pounds. Like a lot of hate on vegan, like
pull-ups for 45 pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, she's shitting on all women.
Yeah, and she like doesn't get a lot of respect she deserves. She's a nutritionist as well.
Yeah.
Also my boy Bryce too.
Oh, hey, I was already planning on asking Bryce to get down.
Good. I like to see his mindset. He has a crazy story. And you got my guy Rudy, who's fighting right now in Colombia. I mean, he came from Guatemala.
One hell of a journey and story to tell.
Yeah, like Coyote brought him over here, like paid to get over here, lived on the street, like, I mean, that's a crazy story.
Hell
Like it gives perspective, like we all have it bad and hard, but like see this dude living under a highway at age 16, 18, like
I don't really have much to complain about.
What am I going to complain about? Like, whatever. Exactly. I got some shit that went on, but there's levels to like people's past and happy ass dude, so like I don't know. Those people like that got the stories. Like those are some that kind of like resonates with me a little bit.
Yeah,
but I got one question for you though.
Yeah, what's up?
You got this Halloween stuff and tie it up. What's up with Halloween?
This is my shit, bro. Okay. It's just my thing. I was actually in October. I was actually in a zombie movie, bro.
Oh wow!
And I was killing zombies and shit. So it was like a check off my bucket list. It's called Live Survival. It's gonna be dropping on Amazon here in a couple months.
No, what's funny is my wife's birthday's Halloween.
Oh shit.
My
Okay.
brother's first kid is Halloween, who's 1, or she's 3, and his second kid is Halloween, who's 1. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, no,
3 Halloween
that-
babies in my family.
Are you guys like all Halloween people or no?
I don't know. It's kind of Halloween. She got like a little Beware tattoo right here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's her birthday, you know?
Yeah.
She's savage with it, yeah.
Well, man, I would love to have Bryce, Rudy, and your wife all
Yeah,
get on the
definitely.
pod.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
love to sit down and talk to people and just learn.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, everybody has so much to give, so much either life experience or just knowledge that they can share.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to absorb it all, man.
Yeah, man, you are, man. You're doing a good job. Great interview. I appreciate it. And we got to roll one day, too. You're coming Saturday?
Oh, yeah, I'll be
Maybe
there
that's come
Saturday
through.
for
Maybe that's
sure.
come through Saturday.
I was going there like Tuesdays and Thursdays
Okay.
too, but fucking life, bro.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm just too busy,
Get you back
especially
there.
tax season coming up. I'm going to be on my computer doing
Okay.
taxes
Yeah,
for like
yeah.
the next 4 months.
Oh, is that what you do as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm an accountant, so I
Nice,
wear
yeah,
many
that's true.
hats. So
That major paid off.
yeah, no,
Mine, right?
definitely. Yeah, for now, it's a good
Yeah,
fallback, so I
sure,
can pursue
sure.
like the movies
Yeah,
and
man, hell
jujitsu
yeah,
and
sick.
do all my other fun shit.
Yeah, I like that. I respect it.
Yeah, man. Well, that sums it up for this episode of Talk Smack with Mac Jeff. Like I said, I really appreciate your time, bro. And yeah, man.
Appreciate you too, man. Hell yeah.